Welcome. This screencast shows you how to create a new Netbeans project. To start off with, we point at the new Netbeans button. Alright, that's a new project, which is also Command-Shift-N on the OS X. But we can also go to File, New Project. Whichever option, you'll get the following dialog box. Now, because we're using the all languages version of Netbeans, we get a lot more options like Java, PHP and Groovy. We'll leave it at the PHP option because we're going to create an HTML, CSS, JavaScript /PHP application. We make sure that the PHP application is highlighted. We don't need to worry about the existing sources or from remote server. We would use the existing sources option if we needed to create an application or a project based upon something we've downloaded previously. For instance, you're actually coordinating with somebody else on an open source project. Click on Next, and this is where you define a name. We either call it My First Project. And the one thing to note is that by default it puts the space, as I've got spaces in my project name, it puts spaces in the sources folder. What you can do to get around that is just delete the spaces from the sources folder, and that will make things work a lot easier. We don't need to change the PHP version or default encoding. So you click on Next. Our next option is showing us where we want to run it. And when you're working on a project and you want to test things, normally you would actually run it on a web server rather than running it from the files themselves. But for now, we're not going to change these options. We'll look at these at a later date. Let's click on Next. We won't choose a PHP framework because we're not using PHP. So all we have to do now is press Finish. And that's our new project created. One last thing to do is delete this default index.php file. So right mouse button on index.php, come down to delete and click OK, and it's deleted it. And that's us done.